it's very exciting and very interesting to me because generally you speak English and I translate you into Italian.
And now I will translate you into Italian. Welcome, Alice Gabriele, a certified facilitator of access consciousness and access consciousness translator as well, a transliterator, and a businesswoman who has been doing a daughter, a wife, and doing lots of projects lots of different businesses, lots of different modalities, and just has a wonderful daily, every day program online called Wake Up using the Access tools, which is really amazing. And so welcome. Today we're talking about business and you are the queen.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's been amazing, actually, really to realize and acknowledge my knowing about business. It hasn't been that like quick or easy at the beginning. I was really thinking about how much point of view do we perceive and receive about business. Business is the kind of thing like, I don't know, like astronomy or quantum physics, that you think you have to be trained for years to know something about it. But basically, this is not really true. So, and I would like everything that is everywhere. We have been thinking that we are not trained enough to do business, to be in business, to have a knowing of business. Can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Good, bad, right or wrong, on pop-out shorts, boys and beyonds. Because this is something beautiful that Simone Milaza says every time, that whenever you buy a package of chiclets, whenever you buy food for your kitchen, for your house, you are in business, basically. And it's been really interesting to me to go deeper and deeper into businesses, into different kind of businesses, and being more and more involved, and realizing how much knowing I was receiving, how much information I was receiving, and how much I wasn't trusting my knowing at the beginning, and how much it was really required to me to trust my knowing and to acknowledge my knowing and to receive my perception, and being more willing to interact with businesses, with my businesses, and take really some time every single day to do that, to be able to expand, to let them flourish, to let them grow and live, and to have more businesses coming to me and saying, hello, would you like to come? Would you like to play with me? And it's been really a beautiful journey. And now it's going on every day, basically. So what if we were really, because business is really the kind of area in which the first lie is that you have to be trained about, you have to have a degree, things like that. And the second thing is like, it's very linear. It's very linear, it goes by number. You have to do A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's only one way to do it correct. And so all of these lies as well, can we destroy and create them all and return them to sender with all awarenesses attached? Good or bad, right or wrong, on 9 pot shorts, boys and beyonds. So why don't we, what if we could start lowering our barriers in the face of our businesses and ask for more vulnerability every day, and really start to look at our business and our business life, like the general, not necessarily the single things, but as a whole and as an entity. And it's every time I do this, every time I lower my barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and ask my business, like my business life, my business area of my life, to talk to me, there's a kind of an excitement, like there's a lot of energy coming up, and like um, as if I have been controlling, and this area has been controlled not only by me, you know. So every time I look at it, there's a lot of energy coming towards me, and it's not necessarily cognitive. I don't get like proper information, like call this person, do this thing, but it's like a lot of nourishment, a lot of excitement. And it's the same as with bodies, right? So the first time you start talking to your body goes like, wow, are you talking to me? And the business as well, it says, are you really speaking to me? Really? I have been here all this, you know, all the years long, and you have never been talking to me. Always looked at me as a thing, not a proper being. So every time I look like the business area of my life and I say, okay, what's up? I go outside. I have a small terrace because it's nicer for me. Also under the rain sometimes. And I look at the plants, and I like connect to the universe through the plants, and I ask the business area of my life, okay, talk to me. What would you like to share with me? Which direction shall I take? Show me, give me information, give me whatever you would like to tell me. Not only regarding the business area, maybe it's gonna tell me, go and have a coffee. Take a time for yourself, 5 minutes, please. And it's very impressive because when I started doing this, like at least twice a day, and really asking what kind of energy is required from my business, and sending the energy, like connecting with the universe and sending all the energy that the business area of my life requires, and then lowering my barriers and asking, okay, whatever you would like to tell me, whatever you would like to communicate to me, whatever kind of information you would like to share with me energetically. And really, the business area of my life started growing every time something, quote unquote, happens. Like somebody calls me, like you connected me, you contacted me and said, would you like to do this? And I ask again, okay, will this create something greater? And if it's a yes, I go and do it. And a lot of things, as I said, quote unquote, happened. Like some business, the big business I had with organizing summer camps simply like went away somehow. And it was beautiful. It lasted 15 years. It was gorgeous. It gave me a lot of beautiful experiences, people, and etc. And all of a sudden simply was bye. And then more access business came in. This program Wake Up came in. And then this big thing that is starting going on with this renewable energy and sustainable food production started. So it's like every single time I do this, a piece of energy is coming in and creating something more. So, and every time is really, as I said, very exciting, and like having a beautiful conversation, expanding conversation with a friend. So it's not about the words, it's about the energy that is really moving all the time. And what else is possible? So I would really love to invite you to do this. Like this, it seems, you know, you might seem odd to yourself at the beginning, like I'm going outside talking to my business. This is, but it's really something very inspiring, and always to really try to lower your barriers and give up your point of view about how business has to go. I remember a conversation we had, me and you, Cass, because I had this new business coming in, and it was like, I don't know how much energy to put here and there, and it's not linear. That is the point. It's like every time is like a question. So what kind of energy is required? What is required from me here? At the moment, I have this in this new business. Basically, I am together with my father, and he's dealing with the vast majority of the stuff. But like almost every day, he comes to me and asks me for suggestion, information, my awarenesses, and it has been also beautiful on the side of the relationship with my father. It wasn't that I mean that easy before. So, and I see that every time it creates more for him, for me, and for the business. So it's never gonna look like the way you think it was. Every time you say, oh my God, I cannot do that because it's gonna be a problem. I'm not gonna have time. I'm not gonna have, it's too much energy required of me. It's never gonna look the way you think it's gonna be. So universe has your back, and universe finds the way. So just the interaction I started having, I think is really worthwhile and precious. So I would really invite everyone to try this. Lower your barriers, go in a place that's comfortable for you at least twice a day. And you can do it with more than one area, not only the business area, but include the business area, because we have a lot of point of view about the business area. Like, you know, there's something that's judgeable about it, that like you can be greedy, or you know, it's something that it's not really of interest to you or something like that. But it's like opening the door on a total different um, area of your life, like opening, like when Alice crosses the mirror and there's a new world behind. It's really like, what else is possible? Let's open in something that you haven't imagined, that can be so nourishing, nurturing, so that you can receive so much, because there is also about receiving from this area. And really being willing to be in a gifting and receiving relationship with the area of business, and what else is possible without point of view, without definition. So I would like to be an invitation for that.
It's so amazing too, because I just want you to keep talking, because there's so many jewels and gems that you share. And I don't know if anyone else has a question, but this business that you said for 15 years that you were working on, when we met, you were working in that business. And it's so interesting how, you know, the way you described it quickly, or here, the depth and the panorama of things that you handled,
Mm-hmm.
did in that business,
Yeah.
which I can just say, you know, the children's camp, teaching kids English, going and interviewing different potential teachers from around the world,
Yeah.
going to London or England and
To
interviewing
train them. Yeah. And
interviewing them.
also it was about, because it was simple when we said that, teaching English through fun. But it was like changing totally the paradigm of people. Teaching English should be serious. You should have notebooks. You should have books. You should have, and it has to be. And in Italy, we have to remember that Italy, we used to run these camps in Italy in the schools, and in public schools, and in Spain also, and in I uh, I remember another European country. I don't remember exactly. Portugal probably. And the thing was that, especially in Italy, we had many years in which we had an American occupation, and we had English soldiers. So a lot of people still bring their the point of view about, not be, and we were really poor at the time. It was the 50s, the end of the 40s. So being, less than. So it, for many, and still now, English in Italy is taught to be difficult, and people think they have a lot of difficulties in learning English. I remember I also um, used to train Italian teachers to teach English through fun. And I remember Italian English teachers, they, all of them, they perceive they don't speak English, and they are not enough able to do that. So I remember there was a crowd of 100 people, more or less, and I asked, okay, who of you speaks English? And none of them raised their hand. And then I said, okay, who of you don't speak a word of English? And none of them raised their hands. So the amount of point, just by saying, just by promoting the camp, saying, we're gonna teach English to your children through fun and amusement and experience. It was like changing, a lot of point of view in people's mind. And we weren't, at the beginning, I wasn't aware of that. And then I met Access, and I became aware of what we were really actually doing. And recently, my husband used to work with me, and recently I had a conversation, and we said, we changed the lives of many people, children, families, teachers, English teachers, principals of the schools, caretakers. We really changed their minds, and it was awesome. Um, it was
Can
awesome.
I say something about this business? So first of all, the fact that you had 100 people that you were addressing,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we don't recognize that we have, capacities we have in business that actually are not necessarily common. I don't know. I mean, VJ was also a trainer in businesses, and he worked with people. I remember when he did the SOP, he used to do SOP sessions on 50 people at a time, but not everyone works with large groups like this,
Mhm.
right? So one, and how many capacities do we have that we, like you said before, we don't actually recognize? But also, going places and interviewing people, okay, in foreign places, but also you were working with the state funding for this also. So
Yeah.
that's not only working in a business that you started with your husband, you had one assistant that worked
Mhm.
with you guys,
Yeah.
but also interacting and with state funding
Yeah.
is a capacity. If you ever have to do a curriculum, please remember to put this stuff on there. And how
Yeah.
many of us have done different things like that? also a very active coaching business. You did even before Access. We met once. She came all the way. I'm from Rome, her from northern Italy, all the way down to Puglia, the heel of the boot of Italy, to do a bars class once. That's how we met, through a friend that brought her friend that I just met. But you were already doing lots of coaching sessions with family constellations at the time and other modalities. Can you tell us a little bit just?
Yes, I started, well, actually, I lost my vision when I was between 24 and 25. And right at the time I started my training, I was training myself as a cultural anthropologist. At the same time, I started training myself with coaching and counseling modalities, because that experience made me see that I really needed to look at things differently. So I started my training, and the training was, it was something called auto-motivation. Basically, it was motivation and communication techniques. It was very efficient to solve like specific problems. And by the end of that training that lasted 1 year and a half, I was already giving sessions, because I it's something, as you said before, is a capacity I had that I started acknowledging and realizing I had, and it was so easy for me. And I realized that the things I could give to people were so valuable for them that it was stupid for me not to do that, basically. So it was like breathing. I started to do that, and I was employed at a time in a public employment place, and I was studying at a university cultural anthropology. So I decided to give the space just one afternoon per week, 2 sessions, and it was full. By the second week, it was totally full, and I was earning a kind of 600. It wasn't euro at the time; it was lire still. So it was beautiful to me to start. And every time I added one technique, I added that technique to the sessions. So it was something that was ongoing and ongoing. And then I started family constellation training, which lasted 4 years, and at the same time, communication, which was meditation and communication techniques. And from there, I started to facilitate groups, and I realized that I had a capacity with dealing with many people at the same time, and that was inspired me for me as well. It gave me a lot of energy. I saw a lot of people doing that and being totally exhausted at the end. Well, I was energetic at the end and happy. So I remember when we did the bars class, and then I did the other 2 bars classes to become a bars facilitator. And you came to Milan and you said, don't worry, we're gonna facilitate a class together. You don't have to do it by yourself. And I said, but I'm not worried. And it's fun. It's fun for me, facilitating, teaching. It's fun. And also it was fun. And I realized during this time in doing summer camps that those summer camps lasted just 3 weeks. So, and it was kind of 100 children and 6, no, maybe less, like 20 adult people for camp, dealing with 100 children. And there were like 15 at the same time in different places in Italy and Madrid, you know? So you have to have a great deal of awareness to deal with this without driving yourself mad and without, you know, beating everyone and shouting in the face of people, you know, and do it. Because if you want to do it with fun, you have to have fun. Otherwise, no one will have fun at all. And it was working. And that was the first thing. It was amazing. You could see children having fun and gaining some vocabulary in English, gaining some, you know, language skills that maybe in 5 years of school they haven't been learning. And you could also see English teachers that were learning a totally different modality of teaching. And the only way you could do that was empowering people. Also in the interviewing, it was just by empowering people, because in 3 weeks you cannot, I mean, you cannot correct nobody. You can only say, okay, you're good in this, go ahead in doing this. And it was working. And it was really, there was an enthusiasm. It was really brilliant and amazing in doing that. Yeah. Then, of course, there were problems, but there are always problems. But one of the things that we realized after like 5 years, that maybe we had in these 3 weeks, maybe we had 1,500 children all over the place. And most of the time, 1 or 2 maximum needed to go to the hospital for injuries of any kind, which is, it's not really statistic. It doesn't make sense. Because if you have fun and you don't really worry, but you orientate yourself in interacting with the children and have them interact in something they have fun doing, they don't get bored. And so they don't fall from stairs or, you know, hit each other or something like that. It was interesting.
Yeah. Lena asked a question here. What that she loves, somebody was saying that she loves the question, go in a place, lower your barriers and go in a place that is comfortable for you, yeah, at least twice per day. And she said she loves that. And she was also asking, what are the kind of other questions that we could ask that you could ask your business?
What is required of me? What is required energetically? And what is required practically? Do I have to call somebody? And it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to, you have to call the person that is waiting for your call. You don't, it's really, I realized that it's really difficult at the beginning not to wake up and have already a list of things you must do that you don't want to do, and you judge yourself because you don't want to do. Okay, talk about all that and really ask your business, what is required of me? And the answer might be, do some exercise, or have a coffee, cuddle your cat, have a shower, brush your teeth again. And you don't really know what kind of outcome you're gonna have from that action. And then again, is also energetically, what do you require? And sometimes the energy that is required is a killer energy. No point of view, go with that. Sometimes the energy that is required is a very caring energy, also for somebody in your business that you don't really like. Go ahead, send that energy. You don't have to do anything. I remember I was once, I was supervising an activity in a park with the children, and they were doing some gymnastic with people coming from the circus, with, you know, with the balls and things like that. And there was a guy watching. So I called the camp coordinator, and I said, can you ask the guy to go away, because he's staring at children from 6 to 9. It's not very nice. And the coordinator told me, I already did it, but the guy told me, this is a public park, I can't stare at children, don't bother me. And I asked, okay, what kind of energy is required here? And I received a phone call, and it was the real estate agent that was trying to convince me to sell an apartment that I just gave him to sell at half price. And I started yelling as a dragon to the, you are the worst person in the world, etc., etc. When I ended the phone call, the guy was gone. So, so I called back the real estate and I said, I'm sorry, that energy wasn't for you. I'm sorry. It's okay. I won't sell the house half price, but don't worry, I was not mad at you. So you ask what kind of energy is required, and you don't really have a point of view about what kind of energy is required. You don't know what the outcome is going to be.
Thank you. That was actually very helpful.
Thank you. And we go get lost all the time in our point of view. You know, this answer doesn't match my question. No, that answer matches your question, and you don't know which is the connection, but you don't care. Just do that.
Yeah, no, I love that response too, because sometimes you want to go into the wrongness of you for having reacted. Somebody just bar facilitator talked to me and says, I was really rude. I got my bars running. I was really rude with somebody. And I said, okay, what I'm getting that you weren't rude. You were just very clear. And, you know, and you can also apologize to them and let them know, I'm just, you know, looking to show you your clarity. But sometimes that's the energy that people need, right?
And you don't really know for what reason they need it. Because sometimes maybe they have been that energy and they have been judging themselves for that. And you being that energy allows them to see, okay, this is just what is required.
Exactly. It's a and how much are you picking up on that, their requirement of that? Yeah. There's also another question from Arun that says that.
Hi.
Yeah. You want to say it?
My name says Arundhati, but my name's actually Asha. That's my daughter's name.
I know that from the other day that you were on. I love that, Asha. Oh, you read your question, because she's got such an amazing energy, that Asha.
Thank you for this really great session to all of you. And I have kind of two questions. One is, I'm involved in different things. I think both Cass and Vijay have heard me say this before, but my mother likes to call me 1,000 temple priest. She's like, you've got 1,000 temples you're going to, and not one. But in one of the businesses that I have a partner, and I really appreciate him as a partner, but we are different. So how does all this work when we have another person? It's not a business we're solely running. That was one question.
Yeah.
And then the other question is,
can I answer to this, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question here? Is there anything you don't want to see or perceive about this partner? Just light or heavy?
Can you ask that again?
Is there anything you don't want to see or perceive about this partner? Light or heavy? No judgment.
Yeah, there's a little heaviness there.
Okay, which means there's a heaviness you don't want to see, or is heavy that or you are totally willing to perceive everything about this partner?
I'm willing. I'm probably
willing.
not perceiving everything, but I'm willing.
You're willing. Okay, so can you lower all your barriers in front of your partner And can you do that a couple of times a day? Go to a comfortable place, lower your barriers, and just perceive, is it him or a she? He or she?
He.
Okay, just perceive him, okay? You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
And this is a great way to connect energetically beyond the ideas and point of view, okay? Then you can do the thing they all say, just like destroy and create all the relationship with this person every day. Lower your barriers, and then all the relationship, all the pacts, outs, fields, communities, communities, swearings I have with this person from this or other lifetime space dimensions. Can I destroy and uncreate it all, good or bad, right or wrong, on my purpose, shows, space, and beyonds? Just, just to give a general cleaning.
Yeah.
And just receive all the information. Take up 5 minutes time twice a day to lower your barriers and receive all the information and see what shows up.
Okay, great. That feels good. Already feels good.
Great. Second question.
Second question is, so how do I know when, what do I ask, or how do I get to that space where I know when I should cut back on some of the things I'm doing or I'm involved with, or I can expand?
What do you mean cut back? You wanna, like, when is the time? How can you be sure that you have to leave some things go? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have a number of things I'm involved in, and I as a person, like many people, I guess, I have a lot of different kinds of interests. So that's what really appealed to me about hearing about you, because you had this interest in cultural anthropology, and then, so I have some academic interests as well, and then you've got businesses, different kinds. So I'm a little like that. And how do I get into that space to know when it's time to let go of something?
Can I tell you something you don't want to know?
Yeah.
You will never have that information.
Okay.
Okay. Things go. When it's their time, they go. You don't have to quit. Never quit, never give up, never, I don't remember the third. That's what Gary says. Okay?
Never give in.
Never give in, never give up, never quit.
Yeah.
Things go. Things go by themselves. You put your interest where is lighter for you. Whatever is lighter for you, where the energy calls you and it's light, when you ask yourself, is this gonna create more? And it's a yes, it's light, go ahead. If there's something that needs to go, it's gonna go. Most of the time, and I can tell you most of the time, and I'm talking about plants, husbands, children, animals, whatever, the less you put energy in something, when there's something that's calling you so much, and it seems that it's calling you away from something, it's because you're putting too much effort in that thing. So when you put your energy wherever it's cold, the other things flourish because they say, oh my God, she's not here anymore, being on my back and pushing me all the time. It seems to you that you have been caring, but it's a little over caring probably sometimes. So don't worry. There are some times in which you simply put your energy in stuff that are lighter for you, and other things that seem to require more energy of you, they start to flourish. You maybe find somebody to take care of that, or they simply didn't require so much energy, and you think, oh, maybe I will let this business go, and then you earn 3,000 euro in a day, and you say, how? How did it come? Okay. So don't worry. If they need to go, they go. If they have their own, way, path to follow, they will go. Like cultural anthropology, to me, I was involved in public projects for the state, for the town council, for the Ministry of Education, for the Ministry of Public Health. It was fun. It was beautiful. And then at one point I said, okay, enough. And that was, I didn't really need to say anything. Simply, I wasn't called anymore to do those projects. And then it started again for a while. And I found the same people who I was working with in different projects. So it's, you don't really know. You cannot be sure. It's like, how can you be sure you do the right step? You don't know. You're just taking a step and you see what it creates. You can ask questions. Is it gonna create more? Yes, okay, do that. But sure, to be sure is a kind of a judgment.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry about judgments. Thank you. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. This, you know, it's so interesting when you're working on many different projects, isn't it?
Yeah.
And these tools really help a
Yeah.
lot, because you cannot be in 5 different offices at the same time simultaneously. However, that question, what is required of me today, right? And it just might be an energetic thing. It might not even be a call, right? I love that brushing your teeth again.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes my body says, brush your teeth again. You're gonna be clearer on something or whatever. You just, because also brushing your teeth is taking a time for you, right? And sometimes you let information come in while you brush your teeth because you're not supposed to think about anything. And
Yes.
finally, awareness can say, hey, hi, I would like to give you an idea.
Yeah. And also it might have you stay home and receive a door knock or
Yeah.
phone call that you
Yeah.
wouldn't have received had you left earlier. So it's not really linear.
Not
how this
linear
works.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
So I have a lot of ideas, and I actually have like a whole book full of different ideas that I want to implement at some point. But
Did you write them down? Did you write them down?
Yes, I write them down. The minute
Okay.
I have the idea, I write it down.
That's good,
But
girl.
I get around to doing very few of them because I'm so focused on what I'm doing now. So how do I know when is the right time, or when do I get back to those?
First, good girl. Acknowledge yourself. Writing down ideas is a good thing to do. First step of creation. That's good. Acknowledge yourself, because when you acknowledge yourself, you are creating more. Okay?
Okay.
If you stop judging yourself, you stop destroying your creation. If you judge yourself all the time, you destroy your creation. So don't go into that, I'm too focused, talk about everything.
Okay.
So Gary says, ask the project when it's time to be done. So open your booklet, go for the first one, says, is this the time? Says no. Second one, is this the time? No. Third one, is this the time? No. If you have 50 projects, ask all of them, and don't think that only one is gonna tell you that it's the time, because you have to have at least 5 projects at the same time going on. For the same thing I answered to the other lady, okay?
Yeah.
If you concentrate all your energy, that's what Dane calls laser beam energy. You burn the thing, right? If you put all your energy there, okay, you broadband your energy, at least 5 projects at the same time, better 10.
Okay.
10 projects. You don't have to do everything about all of them. Like one of my projects is to have gorgeous plants. Okay, I bought something to give water to the plants automatically. I don't have to do it myself. There was, something to have my project be done. And then I asked the maid to take care and check if they are well watered or they need more water. I paid somebody. That's my project done. I don't have to, be there with my plants all the time. Are you making a flower? Are you making a fruit? Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Broadband your energy. That's the secret to have more than one project done successfully at the same time. And then don't judge them, because most of the time you think, I had some project that I was judging myself all the time because they weren't coming to fruition like that in that moment. Maybe that is the time for that project to come to fruition, but you won't see the result for a couple of years. Maybe after.
So also, I think I don't judge the project so much. I judge whether it's going to be viable. Will I be able to execute this? Because some of the ideas are just completely out of this reality.
Okay, so you can ask the ideas. Okay. Because you might want to sell them, or you might want to ask the idea, do you need somebody to actualize you?
Okay.
Do you need me to do something right now? Is it now the time? And if it's a no, don't worry. Okay, you can also tell them, can you tell them when it's the time? Can you, knock on my head when it's the time? Because I can tell you, that I have been judging myself all the time because I haven't been writing enough. I haven't been writing books. Now I'm writing 4 of them at the same time. Because they're really like, hey, now is the time. Good.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful.
Cool. It's so funny. Doing one of the Dancing with Riches classes, boot camps about writing. And not just about writing books, but it is about getting a book going. It's starting tonight in 4 different modules, but also how much writing actually gives you clarity about your life. So I love that, the ideas book that Gary talks about, and then asking it now, future, right? Mine, someone else's, that's great. Who are the players? And this is one of the things that Carmen, the scriptwriter, was asking about writing. Who are the characters in your story, or in your, and what are the elements in your business that are waiting for you to activate them, right?
Yes, and also if you have a product, it's very good. If your business has a product you have to sell, it's a very good idea to ask the product, which is your price? Which price do you want to be sold? Because it might be higher, it might be lower, it might be a totally different price. It might be required that you create a different product. So if we don't have that point of view, and we really ask questions, a lot of information come up. That's why I suggest to ask your business area, like, give me information. It's very nice to ask specific questions, but it's also good to let the business and the business area talk to you. Like, talk to me. I don't have to pull out information of you. Just, it's an energetic being. So maybe it has a lot of things it doesn't require a chit chat, but maybe it has something to tell you, that goes beyond the business itself. Sometimes there is a reason because you're creating a business. you know? So maybe sometimes you need to lower your barriers and go a little beyond that information. And also, what I'm really like stressing recently, my question is, what will it take for me to have fun with everything, with the good, the bad, the ugly, everything? You know, I am in the conversation we're gonna have on my body. I'm gonna talk more about my body. I am doing dialysis treatment, which is, I judged it a lot. In the structure of the dialysis is not that fun. And I really started asking, like 1 year and a half, 2 years ago, okay, what will it take to have fun with this? And it changed completely. When you start, what will it take? There are parts in your business that you don't like to do. Okay, what will it take to have fun? Maybe you won't do them. Maybe you will gonna give them to somebody else, but at the same time, anyway, what will it take? What if it's not like, because I hear a lot of people talking like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the institution part. Okay, there's a lot of judgment in that. And also, if you find somebody else to do that, you're gonna gift all the judgment together with, you know, the role you're giving the person. So what if can be fun? What if you can find somebody to deal like checking your emails, which is something you don't like to do? And at the same time, what if this person is gonna bring fun to that area of your business? And you can have a lot of fun, more than whatever you have expected. And that is one way to receive from your business. And sometimes your business is showing that no, is showing you your limitation. Like, this is something you don't really like to do. You have a lot of point of view here. Can we clear them? So talking to your business is more like, talk, come on, tell me, let me know.
And receiving that information and perceiving that information, a lot of work with the body. And Alice is also a right body for you facilitator, and does book readings on the books also. And she'll be joining us on July 15th for the Spectrum Mind webinar on bodies and health.
The gift of your body.
Your body is your gift, yeah. And also she's got you know, classes online, and the bars class and the foundation classes and the right body for you, and also a daily 15-minute conversation. Good morning, wake up.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Access tools is a like gym exercise. Is like never leaving access classes. What if we could never leave access classes? What if we could go from an access class to another access class, and keeping the space, that space of question? Because most of the people, they receive the tools and they leave them there. They never use them, or they use one or two. Wake Up is a daily program. We started on November 2017. So it's a lot of time now, and has a monthly subscription. And every month we change the topic. And it's on Facebook. It's going to be on Zoom as well from September. And I facilitate, I talk a little bit about the topic, but it's more like I use tools connected with the topic. We use the mantra, of course. We use the thymus exercise that many people do, and then they forget completely. And we use some tools for 15 minutes every day. So what is going to be your life if you would change that, if you would choose that? There are people that are helping me organizing this program, and their life changed so much since they started cooperating with Wake Up. We have it in Italian and in English as well. And it's basically, it's not translated. I do another one in English for the people that speak English. Right. Another 15 minutes.
I just put your, the Access Consciousness / Alicia Gabrielli, and you have a website, aliciagabrielli.com or something?
.it.
.it, aliciagabrielli.com. They were asking about that. Gabriele.it. And you can also find her on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, you find also the public pages, Sveglia and Wake Up. And we're going to have the Wake Up website in September.
Awesome. Awesome. Wake.
Yeah, hi, good evening. One last question.
Yeah.
I missed some of the subject because of my weak network. So I wanted to know, you have mentioned that ask the elementals to contribute to your business. So how do we do that? I have done the foundation.
So
I don't know about this.
That is your awareness. I didn't talk specifically about elementals, but when you ask the universe, you're basically asking the elementals. Elementals are the consciousness elements of universe. Like on the table of elements, these are the unwritten elements, still undiscovered, that they create consciousness. So when you ask the universe, you're basically referring to the elementals. You're asking the elementals to start, move themselves and arrange the universe for your ask. So sometimes what I'm talking about, when you ask your business and when you ask the universe to give you information about your business area, what you're doing is you're not asking for something specific. You're going a little bit more wide and expand. You're actually asking for whatever energy is gonna create more in your business area and your life area. Okay, so it's going a little bit out of linearity, like ask and result, outcome. You don't really are searching for an outcome, but you're trying to connect with the energy and with the energy of the elementals to interact with you and to give you information, whatever kind of information that's gonna inspire you for something greater. Okay, so whenever you're asking the universe, you're asking the elementals. And you can also, there's a specific clearing statement to ask for the elementals and the quantum entanglements. I don't think you find it in the foundation class. I think you find it in the choice of possibility class, I'm pretty sure, and in some of the advanced classes. But you don't have, I mean, there's no abracadabra. Is whatever you're asking the element, you're asking the conscious and aware elements of universe to support you, and they will. Universe will always have your back.
Love that. Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
It's really nice.
really nice. Thank you, Alicia Gabriele. How cool is this? I'm really so thrilled. Always love.
I'm so grateful, so
Yeah,
grateful
me
that you're
So
here.
I had a quick, do you have one kind of starting business book that you would recommend? That,
Of course, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully.
okay.
Or The Joy of Business.
Or The Joy of Business, but Getting Out of Debt Joyfully is really like, it's easier. It's really, I don't really know. I translated, I cooperate with the translation of the book. I just did the final reading. I read it 3 times, I think, and I received gift of 500,000 euros. So I think you should read it.
Here it is.
Yeah. Any more questions? Thank you for this wonderful call. Like, we'll meet again on 15th.
Yes.
Thank you, Vijay.
And
Thank
please,
you,
those
Kat.
of you listening, share, send us a little chat or something about the call so that we can share that with the public. It's just amazing. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Grazie.
you.
Ciao. Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you all. Thank
Ciao.
you all.
Ciao.
Thank you.